Next News, breaking news.
41 days. That's how long Senate Democrats have held America's Homeland Security hostage. And guys, the damage is now becoming impossible to ignore. TSA agents are quitting. Airport security is stretched to the breaking point. And while our military is delivering devastating blows to Iran overseas, Chuck Schumer and his radical left allies are sabotaging our security right here at home. President Trump just dropped a truth bomb that every American needs to hear. And the Democrats' disgusting strategy is finally being exposed exactly for what it is. This isn't about funding anymore. This is about returning to open borders, full stop. Are you ready to see who's really holding America hostage? So let me tell you what this shutdown means for you and your family. If you're flying this week, those TSA agents screening your bags, well, guess what? They're working without knowing when their next paycheck is coming. Some have already quit. A father of 3 had no choice but to walk away from his job just to feed his family. Hundreds of dedicated security professionals are leaving their posts because Senate Democrats would rather play political games than protect the American people. And think about that. While President Trump's military is obliterating Iranian threats abroad, Democrats are deliberately weakening our defenses at home. This isn't incompetence. This is a strategy. And Caroline Leavitt said it perfectly. The cruelty is the point. They want chaos. They want the distraction. They want you to forget that this administration is delivering victory after victory. And here's what really burns. These same Democrats refuse to fund DHS. They're getting ready to fly home for vacation. They get to use those airports that they've helped destabilize while hardworking TSA agents wonder how they'll pay their mortgages. This is the radical left's America. And speaking of protecting what matters most, while Washington plays games with our national security, you need to be protecting your financial security too. New numbers out of Washington show inflation is on the rise again, another threat to you, your savings account, and your retirement. And ask yourself an honest question. Does your dollar go as far as it did 10 years ago? How about 5 years ago? Or even just last year? So what does the next decade look like for you and your savings? And while Senate Democrats shut down Homeland Security and create economic chaos, your purchasing power keeps eroding. And if your portfolio lacks exposure to gold, one of history's most reliable economic hedges, it's time to rethink your strategy. Gold has kept up with inflation and in many periods dramatically outperformed it. That's why I trust Noble Gold Investments. Right now, they're offering something incredible for the Next News viewers. Head to nextnewsgold.com and you could qualify for a free 10th ounce American Gold Eagle with your qualifying purchase. That's real gold, real security in uncertain times. And don't let Washington's dysfunction destroy your retirement. Visit nextnewsgold.com today because unlike Senate Democrats, Noble Gold actually delivers on their promises. So now here's what the mainstream media does not want you to understand about this shutdown. President Trump and those Republicans have voted multiple times to fully fund DHS. They've made deal after deal, offer concession after concession. And every single time the Democrats moved the goalposts, they asked for something. Republicans will give it to them. And suddenly that just wasn't good enough. And you know why? Because this was never about funding. This is about one thing, amnesty for illegal criminal aliens and all those returning to the open. They want to just return to the open borders disaster of the Biden years. Full stop, because they need the congressional seats. Let's get into it, folks. We've got from Rep. David Kustoff saying, while Republicans in Congress have worked to get DHS funded, Senate Democrats have stalled the measure and forced a partial government shutdown yet again. Let's see.
All stands right now.
Well, Nicole, thank you for having me. A few things. Number one, Caroline Leavitt is exactly right. We have voted in the House of Representatives at least twice in the last few weeks to completely fund the Department of Human Services so that all of our citizens, all of our constituents are protected, TSA agents get paid, that nobody works without a paycheck. The fact of the matter is that the Democrats in the Senate have failed to pass the funding for DHS.
And again, I say this every single time we're talking about this. They have to have these people here. This is do or die for the Democrats. They need the extra 20 million people so they have more congressional seats, so they have more votes to elect president and control us and whatever else we don't want to do. So Kustoff highlights the Senate Democrats' roadblock on DHS funding, but just as the House pushes solutions, the Senate blocks reopening efforts. You're going to see next from Brandon Straka. He says Senate votes blocks DHS reopening. Impacts are continuing. Let's see. Yeah, they're calling it a vote.
On this vote, the yeas are 54, the nays are 46. Three-fifths of the Senate duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is not agreed to.
So they need 60 votes for it to pass. Out of 100 votes, 3/5, 20 per 5, whatever, that comes out to 60. So they needed to have 60 votes. We have 52 Republicans in the Senate, so meaning 8 Democrats have to come on. Even if 100% of the Republicans vote, we still need 8 Democrats to get our 60% done. And the Democrats are like, oh, Republicans keep shutting this down. No, 100% of our guys voted for it. We need 8 of you. And they know this. They just know the American people are stupid and they can lie and say whatever they want because there's never any consequences for the Democrats. So with Senate Democrats halting progress again, President Trump doesn't hold back, pointing fingers directly at their strategy to undermine border security. POTUS slams Democrats for shutting down DHS gov in an attempt to return to open borders. The radical left Democrats need to get DHS back open immediately.
Now the Democrats have shut down the Department of Homeland Security in an attempt to return to open borders where criminals come in from all over the world. From the Congo, they come. You know, the Congo opened its jails, released all of its prisoners into the United States of America through the totally open southern border, Sleepy Joe Biden border. The TSA agents have been hurt badly by the Democrats, who made 3 different deals with us over the last short period of time, breaking the original one and then breaking the current ones because they don't want to settle. They want chaos. As I said, so there are great military triumphs against Iran can't be displayed on television because they're displaying airports. But I have to tell you, they did one thing that's been helpful. We decided to use our great patriots of ICE. These people are great. They have endured so much punishment, all because they want to get murderers, drug dealers, people who are totally mentally insane, many of the worst criminals in the world, get them out of our country. And in so doing, I sent ICE to the airports yesterday, and they have been so great. They have been so great. And you know what's happened? And they didn't need any rehabilitation, but they did in terms of the fake news. And they're doing such an unbelievable job at the airports that they had one line. It was 4 hours yesterday, and today was a half an hour. Big difference. And if we have to, we're going to send in the National Guard if we need to, because we only, we have 6,000 ICE agents, and we have 40,000 of the other people that they're helping out. Some of who really were forced because the Democrats don't want to pay them. The Democrats don't want to pay them. You have to remember that. The radical left Democrats need to get DHS back and open immediately.
It's so funny. The Democrats are doing the things with the TSA and the other parts because they know that's the part that the Americans will feel. That, like, if you go to the airport, oh my God, it's 4 hours. Who's the president? Trump. Oh, isn't he in charge of the TSA? Oh, it's got to be Trump's fault. They don't even look towards, like, why is there a shutdown? What are the Democrats? Who's voting? Who's not? They don't see that far ahead. So Trump, instead of sitting there and taking hit after hit after hit, he's like, what can we do? Oh, well, they're part of the same department. We've already funded ICE for the next 4 years, so let's send ICE. And if we can't do that, let's put in the National Guard. He's just going into fixing the issues and working inside of the framework that the Democrats are putting out there. They're trying to make you guys suffer so they can vote a certain way, so we can have illegals in the country. They can control the country for the next 40 years when it comes to elections. This is what they're trying to do right now. And this is the fight happening under the water. So the press secretary doubles down on President's stance, accusing Democrats of stalling and sowing chaos amidst military success being overshadowed. Rapid Response 47, we got Caroline Levitt. Let's see what Caroline had to say.
It's the Democrats who have led to this stalemate over the past 6 weeks. The president and the Republicans' position has been very clear. Fund the Department of Homeland Security. And we have attempted in good faith numerous times, both the president himself and lawmakers on the Republican side on Capitol Hill, to go to the Democrats with reasonable offers, with real solutions. They'll ask for something, we'll give them that concession, and then they say, oh wait, that's not enough, actually. So I think that's why I said earlier, the cruelty is the point. They want this chaos. They want to distract, I think, from the success of our military overseas right now, totally obliterating the Iranian regime. And it's very unfortunate because there's only, the only people that are suffering from this are the American people. And I hear that Democrats might be flying out of town tomorrow. How convenient and lovely of them that they get to go to the airport and that they'll get to go home to their families when you have families, TSA workers who are suffering. You have people across the country who are missing flights for funerals and for work commitments because of Democrat politicians on Capitol Hill.
Again, they get to do whatever they want to do while we all suffer because of it. I was going to take my family on a trip out of state, and instead of flying, I've got to drive now because I know one of my airports is the one impacted. And that would be a 6-hour wait with little kids? No, thank you. So President Trump reiterates his condemnation of the 41-day shutdown, determined not to let Democrats' open borders agenda punish the American people any longer. Donald Trump just goes ham in this one. Let's see.
We're now on day 41 of the disgraceful Democrat shutdown of Mark Wayne's department. Congratulations. You came into a department that shut down by the radical Democrats. Right? But Democrats are really punishing the American people. I saw it today on one of the shows where they were interviewing people at the airport, and they're all angry at the Democrats. They're saying they're actually angry at Schumer. I didn't think anyone knew his name. One woman said, that Schumer is disgraceful. He's a disgrace to our country. But they're angry at the Democrats. They know what's happening. But they're punishing the American people, including travelers at airports, all in the quest to return to open borders and give amnesty to illegal alien criminals. They want to give amnesty to some of the criminals that came into our country. Just about all of them, actually, if you look at it. They love sanctuary cities, which is a sanctuary for criminals. They want to make sure they're taken care of. That's what we're fighting about. That's really what they're fighting. They don't talk about that, but that's what they're fighting about. They want to protect criminals. In many cases, 11,888 murders. Many of them, I will say, are gone now because of us. We got them out. But still have some left. Should have never happened. Should have never been allowed to come into our country. But we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let the Democrats get away with this stuff. And people are wise to them. So they need to end the shutdown immediately, or we'll have to take some very drastic measures.
You know, take those measures, President Trump. Just do it. Do it. Show those Democrats what they're doing. Again, they want, as we're at war with Iran presently, Iran's activating their sleeper cells. What do the Democrats do? They shut down the Department of Homeland Security, the people that are actually tasked with keeping all of those people in line. So here's the truth that the establishment media is just desperate to hide. President Trump just exposed the entire game. Democrats want sanctuary cities. They want to protect criminals who invaded our country. The Congo literally emptied its prisons and sent those inmates straight through Biden's open border into American communities. And now that Trump is actually securing the homeland, actually deporting these dangerous criminals, Democrats are throwing a tantrum. They'd rather have TSA agents go without pay. They'd rather see airport security collapse than rather watch American travelers suffer. Then let President Trump win. The American people see it now. Even travelers in airports are calling out Schumer by name. They know exactly who's responsible. The radical left's mask has completely slipped, and there's no putting it back on. So guys, this is the fight of our time. President Trump is delivering military victories overseas, securing our border, and putting America first. And what do the Democrats do? They sabotage, they obstruct, they hold our homeland security hostage. But here's the good news. The American people are waking up. They're seeing through the lies. They know the Republicans voted to fund DHS, and Democrats blocked it. Day 41 of this disgraceful shutdown, and the blame is landing exactly where it belongs, on Chuck Schumer and his radical leftist allies. So let me know in the comments, should Senate Democrats be held personally responsible for every TSA agent who can't pay their bills? Yes or no? Drop your answer below. And while you're at it, share this video with everybody who needs to see the truth. And check out the Next News merch shop at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and show the world you stand with America. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, stay informed, stay free, and God bless.
The system controls information. Information control is power. They don't want you to see this. The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.